Hello and welcome to the second installment of the Biomass Program Staff Spotlight video series. Today we will be interviewing Howard Marks, Director of Communications, Outreach, and Legislation for the Biomass Program. Howard joined the Biomass Program late last year after serving as the Legislative Advisor to EERE and Director of Congressional Correspondence. He has worked in the biofuels field as both a U.S. Senate staffer and in 2 cabinet-level departments. Barbara Twigg from the Biomass Program's communication team will be interviewing Howard.
Howard, what got you interested in the biomass field?
Well, actually, I was working as a newspaper reporter in Chicago, and my editor had sent me out to a gas station on the southwest side of the city that was experiencing extremely long lines because of gas rationing that occurred as a result of the 1973 Arab-Israeli War and the subsequent embargo on fuel that was declared on the United States, led by OPEC. And so I went out there and I saw some very angry motorists. Some people had not eaten since dawn when they got into line. There was no place to go to the bathroom. They were very angry. They didn't know what was happening. And the same newspaper sent me to the Middle East earlier, and I had seen firsthand the ceasefire negotiations that were taking place between Israel and Egypt on kilometer 101 on the Suez to Egypt road, Cairo, Egypt road, and I saw that that the seeds of these lines really started with this war and the fact that OPEC, led by Libya, decided to impose an embargo on oil exports to the U.S. The net result was that the price of oil quadrupled. There were gasoline shortages throughout the nation. There were long lines. Citizens did not put up Christmas trees. And at that time I vowed that there was a need to join the national consensus for us to go on the road to energy independence. And of course, one of the results of that roadway was the creation of the Department of Energy, where I'm working today.
Tell us about the early days of the biomass program.
Well, it was a lot of fun. In 1975, I joined the staff of what today is called the U.S. Senate Governmental Affairs and Homeland Security Committee. I was assigned to work on the staff of Senator Chuck Percy from Illinois, the late senator. Senator Percy represented a state which is a major producer of corn in the U.S. In fact, it's probably the #1 producer. Some years it's the #2 producer of corn, and we had been approached by a number of farmers in the state asking us to throw our support behind the production of what was called gasohol, which is the first generation fuel ethanol, a 10% blend of ethanol and gasoline. And so what we did is we threw our support behind this effort. There was a lot of populism involved. We had a lot of accomplishments. We increased the federal highway tax exemption for E10 by 20%, which was a great lift for the infant industry. We had a major event at the Illinois State Fair in Springfield, a tractorcade of vehicles just made up of alcohol fuels that were powered by alcohol fuels. And we even had former astronaut Gordy Cooper fly in on a 100% ethanol airplane. I also was invited by the Organization of American States to go to Brazil, where I saw the Alcool program firsthand. Motorists were driving cars on E100, 100% ethanol. It gave the industry a great lift, and it created credibility for that industry.
Excellent. How do you see the state of the biomass industry today?
Well, I'm very bullish about both the first generation and advanced biofuels industry. In the last 35 years, the production of fuel-grade ethanol has climbed from 150 million gallons of year production to today currently 13.9 billion gallons annually. That's an enormous success story. I mean, we sort of like ruminate about all the problems we're facing today, but when you look at the industry like 25 years ago and you look at it today, it's kind of a miracle. According to the Renewable Fuels Association, there are currently 209 operating plants in 29 different states, producing 39 million metric tons of high-quality livestock feed in addition to the fuel ethanol. This production in 2011 helped reduce our imports by 485 million gallons annually. That's equivalent to 13% of total crude oil imports, saving our economy almost $50 billion a year, plus creating jobs for over 400,000 Americans and creating direct jobs for 90,000 of those people. Support for ethanol has been strong in Congress. I am so proud to be part of this biomass program because we are helping driving down the cost of advanced biofuels to make them competitive with fossil fuels. We're helping to take away the reasons why we put our young men and women in harm's way to defend the Strait of Hormuz or the Strait of Malacca. And we're also working with the Navy and the Agriculture Department to work on drop-in fuels that will be used by the Navy and are being used by the Navy to create the Great Green Fleet. Support for advanced biofuels remains strong on Capitol Hill and the Obama administration. And most importantly, we have the support of the American public.
Mm-hmm. And you did a great job, too, on Biomass 2012, our conference that really helped to get the word out, and you were terrific in that.
Well, thank you. We had 700 people, registrants, a new record from 46 different states and 24 foreign countries attend. We had Heather Zickel from the White House who appeared, the top energy czarina at the White House appeared. We had Secretary Chu. We had a number of luminaries there, and it was a great conference.
It was.
Thank you so much.